workshop with the board. Changes to the plan, and that has to be open for a public meeting. No, and whoever, can someone open the door?
The back door, please.
So nobody has to be sworn in, it's still informal, but this is their best opportunity for members of the public to suggest any final changes to the master plan, because this is, it's at the finish line.
Got it. Thank you, man.
You're
So any members of the public who,
If I could just have a
Go
comment.
ahead, John.
The document you all had, I have comments in front of me that I just received this evening from Mr. Gilbert. I've spoken with the chairman of the board, several times in terms of, emphasizing certain aspects of the plan more than they are current. For the board, as you look at it, the plan is not going to alter the landscape of the township because you're substantially developed. That does not mean you won't have new development projects, and the plan advocates the downtown area to include higher density housing and a greater variety of commercial uses, which was supported in part through the survey that we had a good response. There are certain things that actively pursue facilities based on the population. I did have a glance, or did glance through Mr. Gilbert's report, and he questions the population projections as to why. However, all towns have an official population source, and that's the North Jersey Transportation Authority. Why they are the source, I have no idea, but they are. So that's the numbers we fall into. The other elements within the plan are not standalone, they all work together, but they are separate elements as per the municipal land use law, and that's the format of the plan. What you don't have is a lot of the graphics that go to this report on this plan, because we knew we had the issue of notice, so I did not republish it, but we will. Those are the comments I wanted, and I think it's a good idea for those in attendance to make comments.
Great. Thank you, John. Members of the public, we'll open this portion of the meeting to you, the master plan.
We identify ourselves?
Yeah, just give us 1 second. Pat, we need the door open. Did somebody?
Can you leave it open?
David Green, 45 Sycamore Way. So I questioned the numbers, but my idea of master plan is different than Sean said, which seems to be mainly focused on zoning and maybe green spaces, is just provide a document used for planning, for recreation, for schools, for whatever in the town. And as such, the numbers that are presented for population and for housing units is a critical element of the plan. 16,000 people in town, or just under 16,000. And I see a projection for the future of 2050 of somewhat over 16, but less than 17,000 people. And I'm not sure the number of housing units was in there. But in the last year or two, round 3 of the Affordable Housing Act added 1,000 units, and 2.9 people per unit was the average in the chapter's plan, which is 3,000 people. We have another 250 in round 4, which is another 750 people. So where are those 3,500, 4,000 people mentioned in the plan? And how are we gonna plan for the future when we have a number there of almost under 16,000? When actually, if you use the numbers from the affordable housing around 3 and 4, we should have more like 18, 19,000 people.
As I stated, the population quoting plan, somewhat are just dictated by the institutions. The plan is not understating the need for additional facilities, and it speaks about being aggressive in terms of acquisition of open space and as well as expanding facilities. I will look at the numbers again based on the gentleman's comments. However, when you have an institutional source, which is the document you have to follow, whether you believe it correct or not, and the plan states, consider all the numbers. Maybe I should add the word extraordinarily conservative. I did not exaggerate.
No other comments?
Bill Gilbert, 17 Flintlock Drive. I guess since it's a workshop, perhaps the written comments I sent in earlier can be used in total. I won't go through all of them, but I do want to make a number of points. Just specifically to Mr. Green's point, you know, the projection in the plan is this. Somebody took a ruler and projected out the population. That's ridiculous, as Mr. Green points out.
Mr. Gilbert, I'm going to interrupt you, I'm sorry, but the focusing on the population projection is not what the master plan should be looked at, it's policy.
I agree with that. So let me
I'm not.
let me move on then from the population. It just is one of many things that undermines the credibility of the plan. As Mr. Green has pointed out, and I've pointed out in the past along with others, Warren does not currently have a master plan. And with this document, we still don't. Not one that a normal resident could find or understand. While this document may satisfy the bare minimum statutory checklist of the municipal land use law, it fails to function as a strategic guide for the township's future, which would represent a real master plan. Setting aside the unrealistically low population projections, there are critical sections where urgent topics are simply ignored or glossed over. And even in good sections, there's no action plan. So here's some of the missing elements from what a normal person would expect in a master plan. A vision statement. Many master plans start by describing exactly what the town will look and feel like in 10 to 20 years, and even avoid jargon. An executive summary highlighting key elements, including actions needed to achieve the vision. Third, the current document's woefully short on recommendations. Instead, it uses words like encourage, promote, and support. There are no binding recommendations, nor is there an implementation matrix assigning responsibility, deadlines, or funding sources. There's no detailed action or implementation plan to provide details on how, when, and who will implement the so-called plan. At a minimum, I would expect a list of short, medium, and long-term actions that could serve as a checklist so that residents of the town would know whether the plan was being achieved. There's nothing remotely like that. In fact, it's very hard to find any specific recommended actions. So there are, in addition, some weak elements compared to master plans in other towns. There are some strong elements. The survey, resident surveys a strength. It provides great insights, but very little of it's reflected in the document. Some elements, the historic The sustainability, the farmland, the affordable housing elements are well developed, but the report does not integrate them into a unified land use vision, a coordinated implementation framework, a clear narrative that ties together environment, housing, mobility, and economic development, or a description of how those elements influence future zoning or capital planning. There's no consolidated future land use map or description that would translate goals into where growth is encouraged, where growth is limited, where redevelopment should occur, what densities or forms are appropriate in each area. Towns including Bridgewater, Bernards, and Branchburg include land use plans in their master plan. And I already indicated there's no implementation schedule. Now, one of the benefits of the survey is that it asked residents, how do you envision Warren Township evolving over the next 10, 20, and 50 years? The summary of their answers on page 93 provides a clear vision for Warren. In fact, the master plan document could have taken that directly as a vision statement and built a plan around it. But of course, we don't see that. If that had been done, here's what the vision would say. 1, preserve open space and rural character. 2, control development and strategic housing. 3, enhance infrastructure and traffic management. 4, revitalize town center and support local business and community interaction. 5, enhance educational and recreational facilities. 6, environmental sustainability and cultural preservation, including historical preservation. So, since you have it in writing, I will not read through. I did 6 sections, taking each of those 6 bullets, and mapped some of the comments in the plan with comments about what both is weak and missing, and some examples of things that should be added. And I won't go through all of those, but I will point out that in the summary, if we think about the preserve open space and rural character, my summary indicates that, yes, there's quite a bit to deal with open space, but not a lot to do with rural character. Just some nice statements. Not much to turn that into a reality. On the enhanced infrastructure and traffic management, that one is perhaps the single weakest element in the plan. It is the top of residents' concerns along with affordable housing, right? We all know that. And there's almost nothing in the plan not even a proposal for a study to figure out what to do about all of this traffic that we already deal with all the time and we know is going to get worse in the future. I've provided in writing some examples of things that could be done to address that. So in the interest of time, I'll leave the rest for you in writing. I'll just sum up by repeating that I don't think we have a real master plan here, even though we really need it. And so I hope that the board can take the time to enhance the plan to address many of the concerns that I've stated here. And I'm sure I'm not the only one in town that has these concerns. Many people have wondered where the master plan is, and unfortunately, if we go with the current document, we will all still continue to wonder where it is. Thank you.
Any other public?
Yeah, if I may.
Come forward, state your name.
Yes. My name is Elaine Hill, and I live at 7,000 Court. I became aware of this meeting, and I'm not totally prepared, but I know the importance of the master plan because it's gonna affect the town for the next 10, 20, 30 decades. So when the survey was sent out, I did fill it out because I had three major concerns. So I put in the survey, however, because I have not been keeping track of the status here. I do not know the survey results. Is there a summary somewhere of the survey results that I can view? And also, where is the master document the way it is? Is it available somewhere on the website that I can view? So I came here to maybe reiterate my 3 points without the actual master plan, without getting a chance to view, all right? So my first one would be around how do we bring the newer generations to the town, all right? It's probably related to why we have 2.9 people in the household, right? Now, how do we increase that number? In my neighborhood, recently, not long ago, 1 year ago, there was a new baby that was born, and the whole community was so excited about the new baby, but now the family is moving away out of the town. So, how do we bring the new generation, right? So, I put in writing in the survey, but this is only one of my 3 things. So I think that an effective way to maintain or this or sustain the town is to have a good high school ranking, just like Basking Ridge or Princeton. I think strongly that Warren Township should have its own high school instead of being part of the huge Watchung Hills Regional High School. And what are the potential benefits? First, this way the property taxes paid by the Warren Township residents will be used to support the children of the town instead of children of other towns. Secondly, the current Warren Township Board of Education can have their long-term plan and strategy continue beyond the middle school, right? And then thirdly, since Warren Township students are smart and they study hard, I think Mayor Longtime knows very well, the high school ranking will improve if we have our own high school like Princeton and Basking Ridge, which will then attract the young couples to move into town, attract the business to come in and create job opportunities. This way the town will have the youthful vibe, all right, and it can sustain this town. This is one. And the second and the third one, the points are more around quality of life, because if the quality of life here is good, then people want to come in, right? And the town will sustain. Right now, there are 2 things that bother me, that make me feel that, well, maybe I want to sell the house and move somewhere else. One is the Interstate 78 noise between exit 29 and exit 36, because the new development near exit 29, right, near the development near where Interstate 287 meet Interstate 78, 287 and 78, the huge development there around exit 29. Now cars can really just zoom through. So in my neighborhood, when I moved in, it was pretty quiet. We could still enjoy the backyard, the front yard, right? Right now, when we stand in the front yard or backyard, all we hear is noise. So I don't know how I do not have a swimming pool, but I don't know how those people with a swimming pool can enjoy their yards and swimming pool. I'm not sure, because it's such a noise. Okay, so my third point, which is the second thing that affects the quality of life here, is all the airplanes flying above Warren. And at some point, I did this research a little bit, and you can see the picture. The red dot is the airport. The red dot is the airport around Warren. The red dots are the airports around Warren. It's that dense. So the blue dot, of course, is where my home is. And the south, how far did it go to Princeton Airport? The south is the one, it's only Princeton, it's only 1 hour away. Same thing to the north, it's about 1 hour drive. So you can see within this region, how dense airports are. So one time when I was buying this house in 2013, right? I visited the house and I settled down in town. And then I saw airplane flying over. So I called the airports. Okay, so first I thought maybe it's a Newark International Airport, right? So I called them. They said, no, our airlines don't go through above Warren. And they said, check at that airport, okay? So I called the other airport. I think it's Central Jersey Airport. So I called and the pilot came talk with me. He said, oh yeah, we commute between, between this airport and Morristown. So we just fly back and forth every day, and we are right above Warren, yes. So it's this line, the blue one is pretty much where I am, and pretty much you cover the entire Warren here, right? And all the red dots are airports. You can see how dense this is. It covers 1 hour south, 1 hour north, pretty much 1 hour to the west and east. This region, see all the red dots, right? So all the airplanes, if they fly kind of low, then it really hurts your ears, right? So, and I'm not thinking only myself or my neighborhood, you can just tell by yourself. So, this affects the quality of life, potentially can bring down the house value of the town. So, and these are the 3 things I would like to mention. One is how we bring younger generations here, and 2 and 3 are around quality of life. All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the public?
Hi there, Will DeGrande from Orchard Way. I think just on the previous video question, is there a place that we can actively look at the proposed master plan right now while you're on the website?
The
Or
red dots are
any other?
airports.
So if you Google, or go to our website,
We used to
click
have
on the
one in Warren.
planning board page, or
There used to
Warren
be one
Planning
in
Board
Warren.
in Google.
It used to
On
be
the
a private
left-hand side,
airport in
you'll have
Warren,
different links.
but it's
2025 master plan process will have everything, including the current draft of the plan, the survey results, it's all been online.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any,
Yes, did you hear that? You can find the survey
Everything
results
online,
online.
go to the planning board page and click 2025 master plan process, it's all there, including the survey results and the most recent version that we have.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
any other public comments? Okay, seeing no others, we'll close that portion of the meeting, and I think that brings us to the end of tonight's meeting.